YouTube, it's me, Jen, your pudgy picker, sitting at my desk, desperately looking for lotion because I swear I'm dying. I've been wanting to start this dumb video for a while, not dumb video, but I've been wanting to start this video for a while, and then I'm sitting here scratching my hand and jiggling the table, and I'm like, I can't live this way. So, today's video is not a haul or anything else of a reseller type thing, but it kind of is. So, I mean, I had something happen to me today, and it was really nice. And you know, I do occasionally rant on this channel. But you know what? It's always easy to complain about things, but you don't always think about something good that happened, and you want to talk about it and spread that around because there's just too much negativity. So if you just happen to come across this video, hi, my name is Jen, also known as the Pudgy Picker. I have many videos here on YouTube, mostly about reselling, some little vloggy stuff, some little this and that and the other. You just never know what you're going to get with me. It's a mixed bag. But I am occasionally wanting to do videos where I sit and talk, and today is one of those days. So if you stumbled upon me, please subscribe, stick around. Yeah, I don't know, you may like it. If you don't, that's okay. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's just fine by me. So, I went to my booth today in my antique mall to put some items out that people cannot live a moment any longer without, or that's the hope anyway. But I always go out on Wednesdays. I put some things out and straightened up because, you know, you complain sometimes when things get a little bit mushed around and you get there and you're like, what in the world happened in here? But you know what? You got to be glad because that means people are shopping your space and they're touching your things, and that gets them a little closer to maybe wanting to buy them. So think about it that way. Our store has always encouraged us to wear our name tags for when we're working, but also just if we're restocking. We've had a really big influx of a lot of new vendors, and it's kind of hard to see someone in their booth and they're putting something in their purse and you're like, whoa, no, it's a vendor. So, you know, it's one of those things that you kind of have to, you know, everybody has to get to know each other, but it's like whenever you're in the store, please wear your name tag. That way if a customer needs help or whatever, and other vendors can recognize you and know your name and, you know, that whole thing. So it's nice because I don't mind talking with my customers. I know some vendors are just like, I don't want to, you know, be seen or heard, just go and do my thing and not talk to anybody. I love talking to my customers. Because now that I've been wearing the name tag and I'm not just in there, you know, I'll move a few things. If somebody comes in, I'll kind of walk off. So they don't know it's, you know, that's my space. But it's funny because now that I've been wearing it, I've had some really good conversations with my customers. And one particular lady came in and said, oh, this is your space? And I said, yes. And she said, I just love this space. And she said, it's so joyful. And I was like, wow, that's really nice. Never had anyone say anything like that before. And I said, thank you. You have no idea how much that means to me. That, you know, I work very hard to make my space really nice. And it's really nice to hear that someone enjoys it. So that was great. And then she said, hang on a second, reached in her purse and gave me this. It is a hand-painted bug, and you're not going to be able to read it, so I will read it to you. But it says, take my glasses off, hope, have only positive expectations. But isn't that cool? I was just really, she's like, I make these, and I like to hand them out to brighten people's days sometime. So I thought that was just adorable. And the detail on her is so adorable. So I'm going to probably keep her on my desk for a little while, but I think I may keep her in my little tool chest that I take that's got my hooks and hangers and nails and other tools in it that I carry when I go out to restock my booth. So that happened, and that was all, oh, that's so sweet. And then I had another customer come in, and she started to, you know, looking at the fabric, and I said, oh, hello. And when she saw my name tag, she said, oh, this is your space? And I said, yes. And she said, I just love the fabric you have. It's such a good price, and it's good quality, and it's such a wide variety. And I appreciate that you write the size on the tag. So I was like, oh, wow. And I said, yeah, I like to sew. I learned how to sew many years ago in high school. I made a two-piece suit, woman's suit, suit coat, like lined, and a lined skirt in my senior high school. Was very good at it. In fact, some of the things, including the curtains in my office, I made myself. But I just don't have the times. But I know if you are a sewer and you see a piece of fabric, you want to know if it's going to be big enough for what you have in mind. So I said, wow, thank you. And I said, I'm always looking for it when I'm out and about. And I said, in this business, when you look for things for a long time, things find you after a while. So I've had a few vendors that do estate sales. They have estate sale companies. So if they have a lot of fabric, they'll be like, I'm going to be working at the house getting the sale set up. You want to come over and look at the fabric? I'll make you a deal. So I've done that a few times. And also, people just saying, hey, I got this, big lot of stuff I bought, and there's a little bit of fabric. I don't care nothing about fabric, and I know you sell it. Here, take it. So there's a lot of different ways I come across it. I'm still using fabric that I bought at a auction. I can't even tell you how many years ago, but I've been selling that consistently for years. It was just literally, there was probably 100 milk crates full of fabric. Oh, loved it. But anyway, so that was nice to hear that she enjoys the fabric. And then I told her, I said, when I bring in new fabric, I kind of fill from the bottom up, so the most of the new stuff will be here and here. And she's like, oh, thank you for telling me that. So, just to kind of communicate. I think I mentioned, since I've been making these different earrings, I had ones that were avocados, and I was joking with a lady that I said, oh yeah, I got all these different earrings. She goes, you probably don't have avocados. And I said, yes, I do. And we laughed, and I showed it to her. She bought them. So the same customer, I saw her today, and she was picking out a few more of my earrings, and she had, she had a t-shirt on it that had a UFO and like a cat, like it was, ready to claw this UFO. And then her earrings, I noticed, were like a cutout picture of a cat that was like it was thrown up. I could be friends with her. She's got that vibe, the weird vibe. So she bought, I think, a little pair of like alien ones and something else. And we stood there for a few minutes just yip-yapping, and she said, well, how much is it to rent here, and this and that, and what do you think of this and that? And, we talked about, I also sell on eBay. So, I don't usually tell many customers about my YouTube channel, just because, I don't know, I wouldn't want someone who, would watch my videos and then go into my booth and be like, I can't believe the prices you're at. I don't want that. But if it's someone who, if you keep seeing blue and then white in my glasses, I keep bumping my mouse. So, it was really neat to talk to her. And then she was like, well, I'd like to do, eBay, but it seems real complicated. I'm like, oh, it's easy. Do this, do that. Go to YouTube, watch some tutorials, make sure they're not more than a year old. And then, it was nice. It was just nice talking to her. And then I said, I'm usually here on Wednesdays. I said, if you come up with any issues or you're interested in talking more about eBay or something, I said, let me know. And she was like, wow, thanks. So that was really cool. So, it's funny because there's some, like I said, there's some vendors that are just like, even if they're in the store and somebody's like, oh, you have a customer that's asking about this or that, they're like, no, tell them this, that, and the other. They don't even want them to know, the customers to know that they're in the building. So I'm not sure I understand that, but it's not like, if you're selling something controversial, maybe I could understand that, but I like to talk to my customers. And then I also sometimes I'll even say, is there anything else you're looking for? Or is there anything kind of that I don't really carry that you'd like to see? Or it's kind of cool because, it's not like a big company where you never really see face to face the people that you deal with, and being able to talk to people and kind of filling a niche for them, it's kind of cool because you're getting a lot of those customers back. I would say 8 out of 10 people that come into our mall have been there, and maybe half of those people come every week. So, you're getting to know your customers, and to hear feedback from them, good or bad, I think it's important. So, having a cranky day, something making you mad, sometimes you get nice little compliments, and I know there's time in everybody's job that they're like, oh, why am I doing this? Or, oh, this is so much work, or I just don't know anymore, or today's just not a good day, and then you get a little painted rock and talk to some really nice people who really do like what you do, and really, it brings joy to them, and that's like, wow. And a lot of people in my business and outside of my business even will say, wow, you buy so much stuff to sell. How do you sell all this cool stuff and you don't keep it for yourself? And then I think of this reasoning in talking to people that unless I really, really love something, or I'm really drawn to something, I kind of like to make sure that, wow, I can see it and I know it's a cool item, and then just kind of move that on to the right person. And I'm just the middleman, I pick it up and then I put it out there so someone who will really love it and cherish it, and maybe hand it down in their family, that they can get it, they can enjoy it. Because if someone's going to enjoy it more than me, then they should have it. They should buy it, but you know what I mean? It should be theirs. And to hoard or to have piles of stuff, even if it's really good resellable stuff, to have it stacked somewhere and you just never get it listed, or that's such a loss, that item is sitting there and someone out there really wants it, whether it's local in an antique booth or if it's global on eBay. It's amazing to me, the serendipity of having an item and knowing it's really neat, and then someone coming to me and saying, this is my story, and this is what I went through, and this is why I'm buying your item. And I'll do one last little story before I go and sign off. But I think I'm going to call this an anti-rant. Hey, I might have coined a phrase there. Where's my pen? I'm going to write this down. But I was selling probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I had found a very vintage stuffed animal. If you're a reseller, always buy those. Look them up. I always say there's someone out there that had that as a kid, and for whatever reason they don't have it anymore, and they're looking for it, and they have the money to pay for it. Just a little reseller tip. But I bought this monkey. It was kind of like scary. It had a plastic face and plastic ears, and then a plastic hands and feet. So it was a little bit on a little high on the creep factor. But I just knew I got it for maybe $5, and I thought I'm going to put it on eBay. Somebody's going to love it. Did a lot of research. Figured it out. It was from like the 50s. So I got it listed. I think I had like almost $200 on it. I just thought, aim high, see where it goes, see what kind of feedback I get. And I got a message from a lady that was like, would you take less? So I was like, oh, okay. So you can answer with an offer, which I did. And I think I did like 170 or something. And then she came back and said, I could do, like 150 or something. So I was like, yeah, okay. So then she, went ahead and bought it. I got ready to ship it. And then she sent me a message right before I sent it out and said, I am so glad I found this. I've been looking for this for years. I had this as a child, and I had it with me forever. It was like my friend. We went through so much together. And then, several years ago, I was getting a divorce, and my soon-to-be ex-husband was like, yeah, you like this? Is this important to you? And he threw it in the fire. Can you imagine? Can you imagine hating someone so much that you would do that? But She said, ever since then, I've been looking for him. And I'm so glad I found it. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. So went ahead, got it shipped out. Maybe a week later, she sent me a message and said, he looks almost exactly like the one I had. And I'm so glad I got it. Thank you for bargaining, with me on the price. And she said, I have my friend back. And I was like, so if you do this job for any length of time, that's the kind of cool stuff that I just love. And that's part of the biggest part of the reason why I do this job, is to get those things to the people who really should have them. So, it's a little bit of a different video, the anti-rant. And if you're, like I said, if you're just tuning in, consider subscribing. Anybody who's been here for any length of time, whether you're new or you've been here forever, because it feels like forever, I do appreciate you tuning in and watching me. It means so much that you take time out of your day to watch and visit with me. I'm very glad to have you, and it's nice to have a Diet Pepsi or a coffee or whatever you got, and we can just sit and yippee yap. Or I'll talk and you listen. Otherwise, it would be very awkward if I just sat here and went, yeah, oh, okay. So on that note, I'm going to sign off. I will see you guys next time. Probably a haul. And until then, happy picking. Bye.